Hello everyone, welcome to the Anime Recap Media YouTube channel. Please like the video, subscribe to help our channel and enjoy this full video.
Some days later, Kagura is cleaning her sword when she sees a half-naked old man that tries to stop her. She gets frightened at this perverted old man. Yomi enters soon and explains that he is Michael, the famous katana maker and also the maker of Kagura's sword. Michael makes some awkward gestures, barely answers any of the questions logically, and takes all of the worn-down swords for repair. The team is asked to work with other inconvenient weapons till then. Later on, during another mission, Kagura and Yomi face the same civilian girl from before. The girl had taken her life and had turned into one of the Category D spirits. While Yomi has no attachment to the spirits, she attacks them, but since she didn't have her sword and had to fight the spirits with a literal iron, she needs help from Kagura. Kagura, however, cannot even raise her sword. The spirits are still in human form, and she cannot seem to get the courage to strike them down. Thankfully, Kagura's father comes to the rescue and defeats all of them using the Rei spirit. Back at home, Tsukumiya harshly reprimands Kagura by reminding her about the great responsibility she has as a vanquisher. She was unable to purify the dead humans, so he firmly exhorts her to become stronger. Later that night, Yomi comes in a beautiful dress gifted by her dad to see Naomi. Their feelings for each other is pretty apparent at this point. Meanwhile, Yomi's uncle is not happy with the engagement, or with Yomi being given the family sword as she is adopted and he himself has a daughter of her age, Mei. He tries to make her father rethink the decision of passing down the power of the Isayama family to Yomi. But Nakura won't listen to a word he says. Instead, he reprimands his brother and tells him to rethink his choices. Mei appears at the scene and agrees with her uncle. Yomi was better than her and deserved the position. She takes her father away. Her father is frustrated that her daughter doesn't want the position as the head of the family, but Mei assures him that she wanted the position. For now, Yomi could have it, but people die in unnatural circumstances, and that's what she was waiting for. One night, Yomi and Kagura encounter a different type of ghost, an echoer. This monster can literally shape-shift into them and they struggle to defeat it, not to mention there is literally 100 of them around. Mei comes there for their rescue and sorts it out. She teaches Yomi a special technique of the sword which dispels all the monsters in one go. Mei then advises Yomi to use her power wisely. This all is monitored by Ayam, and she thinks of bringing Mei to the SDPD as well, but her assistant says that she was invited long ago, but she isn't interested. During the incident, Kagura is hurt in her legs and has bandages on them. While playing with her friends at the pool, it gets wet, so they go to see the school nurse. The nurse is very kind and changes her bandage, even asking her to visit again if needed. Later, multiple Category CS surround the location and are being dealt with by a group of vanquishers. Mei watches all of this unfold from a nearby building, but as she is about to enter the fight, she senses some powerful spirits nearby and decides to follow them instead. She finds herself suddenly facing Kazuhiro Maedagawa, a white-haired boy accompanied by a swarm of blue butterflies near the school. They start to fight, but the difference in their power is so far apart that with no effort whatsoever he pierces her with her own weapon. At the same time, in school, the school nurse seems to have gone berserk and is attacking students. She has already finished off a male student, and after devouring him she goes after Kagura's friends. This time around, Kagura arrives and shows resolve as a vanquisher. Despite her feelings attacked to the lady, she manages to finish her off. Mei, who had been killed by her own spear, rises to her feet after being touched by a blue butterfly, which heals her fatal wounds. After the blue butterfly had touched her, Mei stands up more powerful than ever. Deeply conflicted after killing the school nurse when possessed by a leecher, Kagura is given time off to heal together with Yomi, who should support her in this difficult moment. Later in the school, a new nurse is appointed, which reminds Kagura of the death of the old nurse. She goes to visit her graveyard as she is full of regret. Her classmates come there, and they get bitter at her, thinking she is the one to kill the nurse. Kagura struggles between the need to rid the world of spirits and the need to kill to do so, even questioning her fate linked to her family name, trying to get clarity for her future by sharing her story with her two classmates, since they already knew her secret when she literally slashed the nurse dead before them. Yomi's father calls his brother and Mei into a meeting at the same time to inform them that Yomi will soon succeed him as the head of the Isayama family. His brother grudgingly follows his wish, however he speaks harsh things to Yomi to ensure she understands the honor and obligations that come with being entrusted Shishio. Later that day, when Kagura is back from school, she finds out that Yomi's father is lying on the ground covered with blood. She immediately calls an ambulance, but they can't save him. Yomi later in the evening comes home and finds out about the death of her father from Kagura. They both rush to the hospital, but her uncle blames Yomi instead for not using her power properly and not being able to save her father from the spirits. Something sus has just happened. After the incident, her uncle declares himself head of the family and Mei will carry the role of vanquisher. Though it is against the will of her father, Yomi is obliged to give Shishi to Mei, along with her own position in the family, her room, and even her proximity to Kagura, who is ordered to leave the family house, which is now the property of Yomi's uncle. Mei finally gets her hand on Shishio, which she was waiting for all along. When Mei finally unsheathes Shishio, her lifelong dream come true, she relives in horror the moments of her fight with Kazuhiro and remembers what she has done. Dismayed, she runs out where, under the rain, she meets Kazuhiro again. In the meantime, both Category A and Category B appear in the city and the teams are called for action. There the other officer team is also involved, and this is thievery voice time. Such a cross-team link-up is happening. Yomi also leaves home taking Kagura's katana, driving to find and confront Mei. Having realized that something is definitely wrong with her, Mei attacks her with a shishio instead and they two fight with each other. During the fight, Yomi realizes she is no longer a human and is protected by a stone given by Kazuhiro to restore her body. Mei confesses she is the one behind Yomi's father's death because she always hated Yomi and wanted the position all to herself. Filled with rage, hate, and revenge, Yomi attacks her. Unfortunately for Mei, the white-haired body is more interested in Yomi, so Mei's wounds suddenly reappear and Yomi is able to kill her. Yomi encounters Kazuhiro shortly after killing Mei. He assures Yomi that he was the one who provided Mei with the powers she requested and that he will do the same with her. He then lets forth a hail of spikes that penetrate Yomi's flesh all over. The team finds Yomi and brings her to the hospital. Yomi remains in a coma for 2 whole months. Her body has suffered many injuries but none of her vital organs were hit. Kagura is shattered afterward when she finds out the truth and leaves the room. This leaves Yomi in guilt, and she wants to see Naomi. She later is informed that the engagement is cancelled as she is no longer the successor of Isayama family either, and is also considered a murderer now. Naomi's father refuses him to see her, which leaves Yomi all alone. It is right at that time when Kazuhiro appears and offers her the Seshaseki stone that will heal her broken body and grant her wishes. But only those born from hate. For Yomi, that offer is impossible to resist. Kagura, after regaining her resolve to be at Yomi's side, goes back to her hospital room only to find it empty. Yomi then goes to her uncle and kills him. Meanwhile, Master Tsukushimiya knows what is happening and follows Kazuhiro to the tower. Elsewhere, Nori investigates the site where Yomi was found. His plan is to find who hurt her, re-establish her name and go back to her, no matter what his father says. From what he finds at the site, he comes to the conclusion that someone is orchestrating everything that's been happening in the last several months when spiritual beings of all kinds have been appearing more and more. Meanwhile, Kagura's father appears there to save her. Yomi wounds Kagura's father severely when he sends Baikiai to shield his daughter from the attack. He is taken to the hospital when confronted by the chief. Though his wounds are taken care of, he has limited time. So for the first time ever he speaks with his heart to his daughter. He confesses that it is a harsh destiny, and he treated her like that only to make her stronger. Finally, he asks Kagura for forgiveness. He gives Kagura his power, who will forever share her soul with Byakuya. Now Kagura is all set to deal with Yomi. Kagura and the team pursue Yomi with the intent of stopping her once and for all. Before the two girls face off, Kagura apologizes to Yomi for not being there for her when she needed it the most. Yomi is not affected at all and fights Kagura to kill her. When she has the upper hand, Naomi assists her. They both realize that the person they are dealing with is no longer Yomi. This compels Kagura to make the hardest decision ever, to kill the person who is her sister. When Yomi is wounded to death, she remembers wishing for her stone to protect her and eliminate every pain Kagura has, even if the cause was she herself. 2 years later, Kagura continues to serve on the SDCP team. She prepares herself to defeat the large spirit at a tower with her new partner Nimura.
How was the video? We hope it was good. If so, please check these videos. Also, please comment down your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing now to show the support to our channel. We hope to see you soon with another video right in this channel. Have a nice day.